I don't know how many buildings they had done in full 3D, but I know that it was a whack of them at least there. I just wanted the item, not the lost Pokeballs, but whatever. Here, the lost Pokeballs of various types. If you lost some of your Pokeballs, come find me. I've got you covered. It's like paint a picture, take a pic, and then print the image and submit it to painting contest. Graphic design is my passion. Quack. Alright, so this would be Froakie. This is what the Greninjite is all about. But yeah. If there are more upgrades for movement, I understand it, but that's it. Yep. Again, that's another thing that you can find in previous versions of this game, what with the whole Terra leak, is there were once ride Pokemon, but they cut it before the final version of the game. Yeah, now we're gonna get the Quacks redeemed. Feast your eyes on this. It's our masterpiece. Our greatest, hardest ever scaffolding course. That's not the purpose of scaffolding, dude. And the current record holder for clearing this course the quickest is that wild Froakie over there. Look at that smug face. It's got, I'm faster than you slouches, written all over it. We're just gonna... There's 20-second cooldown, so I guess we're gonna have Quack spam within a manner of speaking every 20 seconds. I put 20-second cooldown for things because I didn't want them spammed. So 20 seconds is the fastest you hooligans can get. Gotta show that Froakie what humans are capable of, kid. Help me bring it down a peg. If you can clear this course in 30 seconds or less, then that Froakie will have to admit you're good. Now we've started a whole chain of sound redemptions. This is how it goes. A challenge from Froakie. There are many, many more polygons on that scaffolding than the building there. Using the scaffolding to build. God. Ready to give the course a go? You've got to try clearing it in 30 seconds or less. Okay. Please, Game Freak, never make platformer ever. Please, FromSoft, never make a platformer. And please, Game Freak, never make a platformer. I am 70 alternative accounts. Stand by the starting line, then. I gotta rewatch those Sonic fandubs one of these days. I haven't seen them in a while. They're good things to rewatch after it's been a while and you don't remember all the things anymore. And then it comes back to you and it's so silly. 30 seconds remaining. I thought there'd be a timer on the screen or something, but I guess that wasn't in the budget. Wait, why couldn't they just use the same basic timer from, the... No! Damn it. That they have for, like, the online battles. Gosh dang it, let me retry. I actually went over the railing there. But yeah. Yeah, the reason for the construction is that actual depth to the buildings. Have to save at least 5k points for FE Revelation. Yeah, I'm gonna have to name a weapon in that. When the day eventually comes, I play Fire Emblem Revelations. Fire Emblem Fates Revelations. Which, there might be a different Fire Emblem game before that point. I was debating about whether the next Fire Emblem game was going to be Sacred Stones or Path of Radiance, potentially. Maybe I'd end up doing one of those. I don't know. Or maybe we would just do Revelations after all. But the moment I do Revelations, I'm going to need to have a shit ton of time to commit to it. So, you did it! So I won't be adding it until, like, my game queue is, like, empty or something. You know, where it's like, oh, there's, like, no other games going on right now. Let's add Revelations and commit to it for a while. Because not only is there, like, all the content that I did in the previous playthroughs, like, done again, but more, because, like, all the side-exclusive paralogs, I'm doing both of them in Revelations. Plus, Revelations is when I'm going to finally showcase all the DLC. So, there's going to be a lot of that to go through. So, Revelations playthrough is going to be long. Well over 100 parts. I mean, Fate's Conquest was like a 115-part series. Fate's Birthright was an 85-part series. I could see Revelations taking me like 150-something parts, honestly. You did it, kid! You showed that Froakie just how capable humans are. Or did you? We're not done yet. Here yet, I'm afraid. The gauntlet is still long before you. Froakie's probably over at the next stage of our greatest, hardest ever scaffolding course all ever. Well, and this one isn't the hardest ever. We'll be waiting for you there. But yeah, okay, the music for this obstacle course sounds exactly like a certain song from WarioWare, like almost the same. Oh. Over here. But yeah, let's see here. I appreciate games that try to mix up the standard gameplay loop with different games, but amusingly, almost no game actually does it well. Yeah, true there. Ready to give stage 2 of Super's best ever scaffolding course a go? The goal is 40 seconds. Let's do it. That's the spirit. Time to show off your skills once more. Honestly, laughing to myself, think about the equivalent exchange of Pokemon. They had good-looking cutscenes. They, in exchange, had to make the buildings have textures painted on. I think it's less about the cutscenes and more just about, like, the regular gameplay. Just how much they have loaded at once and how they just don't optimize things. What happened to the whole compress the code enough to fit in 2 regions optimization of ye old times with the Legends of Satoru Iwata. Now it's like, ooh, we have deadlines to meet. Ah, screw it. Let's change all the buildings to be flat. Ready, steady. Don't even think PMD Explorers of Sky did the mix-up very well. Seriously, it's just looking at Pokemon feet. Yeah, that is true. I had fun with it as a kid, but you're not wrong. And it was a great way to get good items if you were good at it. And I was always good at it. Play named a Hawk Spirit Hawk Tua. God. So that's what you want to name in Revelations, huh? Well, up we go. Wow, I had 40 seconds for that? Really? You did it! Imagine if there was voice acting and people saying things like Froak for, like in the anime. Amazing! You're the star of the scaffolding course. Look at the facial hair disaster this guy's got going on. Or are you? Your gauntlet still isn't over yet. One more challenge lies ahead. Frogie's probably over at the final stage of our greatest hardest ever scaffolding course already. So I'll be waiting for you there, Star. Yeah, I don't think that they're OSHA certified. I think you're right. This one's far now. All the way over there, wow. But yeah, like the game has a better story and good gameplay, but there's no depth to the walls of buildings. Yep. Yep, pretty much. This guy's definitely killed at least 7 people. This game has the graphical depth of a piece of paper. Yeah, I mean... people are popping in and out. Lumiose Museum from the outside is enough for me. Oh, is that the museum that people were telling me about? Ready to give stage 3 of service bestest ever scaffolding course a go? Goal is 50 seconds. Bestest. That's a spirit. Time to show off your skills once more. There's no correlation between like story and wall texture, so it's like some divine intervention to stop Pokemon from taking too many steps forward. Truly. Truly it is. Ah, my right nostril is giving me trouble. Up we go. I don't know. Then up this way. 40 seconds remaining. Where am I going? This way? Or something or other? Whoa. Yo. Here we go. There, done in like halftime. Probably a little bit more than halftime, realistically, but hereupon Ricky bestest. I'll always think of that. That's exactly what I had in mind. But yeah, I'm using it as a comparison because it's another cartoony game that takes place in a city environment, but still Toontown Online's environments have more life and personality, and that game's older than I am. Look at you, kid. You dashed right across that scaffolding like some kind of ninja master. Through the magic of scaffolding courses, you and Froakie have built a sort of special bond. I said the words in the wrong order. You should have it join your team. Froakie's like, wait, what? I didn't agree to this. You obtained Froakie. And you also deserve a reward from me for that impressive speedrunning performance. Imagine he gives me the Greninja now. You're really something, showing off as much agility as a speedy Pokemon like Froakie. I hope you'll make it to the top of every last one of our scaffolding courses with your new pal. Oh god, next Pokemon game just have solid color billings, but they have actual depth to be so funny. It's finally 3D, but now they're just single color. Request permission to sketch a copy of Golurk in the Night. My eyes still have that, like, terrible feeling. What has PvZ Replanted done to me, man? Combination of PvZ Replanted and this game, I guess. Froakie is now committed to being your party member. That's right. Welcome to the Lumiose Museum. What? Can I just wander in? Okay. Wow, these are really cool arts, actually. That would actually make a badass poster. What the heck is this line going through the bottom? Is that a little bit of a error left in the game? A little line going right across. Oh, there's another one up there. There's another line. I guess they split this into, like 3 separate things that they stitched together. But it didn't quite line up. You change your character is now Mr. Game & Watch? Are those X and Y concept art? Maybe they are there. This piece of key work in the rise of the realist movement It depicts with keen accuracy the scenery in an area near Coumarine City in Kalos. BZ replanted as an achievement to get every Zengarden plant. Buying a Zengarden plant you don't already have or any at all is a mobile-only feature. Wait, so can you not even get the thing? Don't think they actually expected people to look at the few actual good textures in the game? Hey, look, it doesn't lock my camera in place when I'm interacting with something like Legends Arceus, I'm pretty sure did. This painting depicts a knight errant who continues his travels with the Pokemon Golurk. The painting expresses the knight's identity and his suffering as its primary subjects. Is regarded as an example of romanticism. Definitely unreasonable to 100% there. But yeah. Yeah, Kalos cities and stuff. They say a man of power at the time forced the artist to add the mythical Pokemon Mew to spread the word about how great he was. Can't fault him. What's this then? Oh, it's just the same thing. Okay, I guess in playtesting, people didn't actually interact with these. So they put the same thing on these. Just doubled it up. Okay. Yeah, other place in Kalos that we can never go to. That's actually a pretty badass art. What that is. The courtyard of Parfum Palace. Oh, I remember going there. And the guy saying some very unhinged things. A statue that celebrates cooperation between Pokemon and people stands in the courtyard. This work is part of a series depicting sceneries that inspired overseas artists while they were traveling in Kalos. I just thought when I was running the little clothes movement sound effect sounded a little delayed, so I thought my capture card was being weird again. See, that looks like a hideaway for fairies. A huge tree stands in the center, and the Pokemon gym is nestled in the tree. Work is part of a series depicting traveling across Kalos. But yeah, after playing this game, I'm also very confused about the timeline of Pokemon. I just have never worried about the timeline of Pokemon because I feel like it would be so much of a pain to figure out there. Oh. All the different Pokeball types here. If only I could actually get them all. Investigate was for this. The factory makes Pokeballs and ships them all over the Kalos region. Painting is part of a series on technology in Kalos, and ever-increasing number of Pokeballs expresses the artist's desire to be connected to all Pokemon. Replicas of various Pokeballs in use today. There are Beast Ball or anything here? Lame. You even have a Master Ball, huh? Pokemon lore is like Warcraft lore. It's been retconned so many times nobody understands and thus cares much about it anymore. Yeah. Yeah, the art looks really good. I quite like the art. Parfum Palace is such a waste of an opportunity. It's a Pokemon version of the Palace of Versailles, and it's basically a 2-minute side quest. Yeah, you go through the maze and then you dip out. Even without this game, like 3,000 years ago, there's a war with Pokemon. But like a generous 300 years ago, PLA happens. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in Pokemon lore. This plant uses heat from the ground to generate electricity. Okay. Yeah. Space station. This plant gathers sunlight in space in order to generate electricity. Okay. Still never be able to go into that one hidden door that looks like it leads to there in Pokemon X and Y. Plant uses the gas from composting waste to generate electricity. Unless we go specifically there for like the one place outside of the city in this game. This painting is part of a city. Yeah. This looks like something that you'd see in like Pokemon Coliseum or something or other, except more high tech. Plant uses gas from composting waste to generate electricity. Part of a series, yada yada. But yeah, is like the potential man of Pokemon games. The potential man, what? This looks pretty cool. Power plant uses fire to generate electricity. Yeah, sure looks like some crazy dystopian concept art kind of thing, Bob. I want to play a game that brings me there. Man, use the fire to generate electricity. Man, I'm playing this boring ass game, or this boring ass looking game, and to clarify there. And I go to the museum and see all this, and all I can think is, I want to play a video game that brings me there. I don't want to leave this museum and see the ugly world that I'm seeing in this game. I want to play a video game that looks like that. If you told me this was concept art from a video game and I could play that, that looks like a video game I'd like to play. Oh yeah, I also heard that the whole city being like one model and that's why the buildings are flat thing is probably a lie. I heard someone say that it was this model, but then it turned out that that wasn't the case, and it's apparently like there's a single model of the whole city that's used in like the opening cutscene. But it's not the case that the whole city is loaded at once after all, or something or other. Yeah. But still, it's still really poorly optimized, and they had to make all the buildings flat. Hisui region map number 1. Map depicts the area around the settlement of Jubilife, base of the Galaxy Expedition Team. Many children can be seen, perhaps indicating that the fear of Pokemon is lessened and life had stabilized by this time. It doesn't really make sense why this one museum in Kalos would have stuff for long past Hisui region. And not even stuff of, like, their own ancient past. Where's the stuff about the war from 3,000 years ago? They just, like, I get that it's for the fact of, like, Easter egg of you know, the last Pokemon Legends game and that being cool and all. But it is kind of funny that this museum just showcases the history of a completely different region and not even its own history. Hisui region map number 2. Depicts the Coordinate Highlands as well as the Crimson Mirelands and Lake Valor. Though very different from the modern Sinnoh region, the geography itself is accurately shown. I believe the surveyor viewed the area from above while riding upon a flying Pokemon. Man, everyone is just so, like, dead and lifeless in this game. The Museum of Reused Asset, that's right. Sketches drawn by Professor Laventon. His original Pokedex was long assumed to be lost until a partial facsimile was found in the shed of a private house in the Sinnoh region. This discovery has helped advance the studies of Professor Laventon and the Pokedex he created. His work has been reevaluated in recent years, with particular appreciation for his accurate sketches of Pokemon and his gift for capturing Pokemon's quirks with the skillful descriptions. It is said his Pokedex was not in fact completed by Laventon himself, but by a mysterious 15-year-old youth who appeared out of nowhere one day. You know where this museum would have made more sense? Is in Pokemon BDSP. Then you have a museum in the modern day depicting, like, the past of this region. If this museum doesn't have anything about 3,000 years ago on the ultimate weapon, like it doesn't even display this region's own history, but displays the history of a completely other region on the other side of the planet for some unknown reason, then that's gonna be kind of dumb. Old name of fax machine? Oh. Yeah, potential man is a meme saying this guy has potential, but he does nothing, so the potential is actually bullshit. That's a basic meme. Started from Jujutsu Kaisen power scaling, and Chenda shit posters became a general fandom meme. I've never seen Jujutsu Kaisen, but one of my coworkers recommended it to me recently, and maybe I'll get around to checking it out when I have the time. Sketches drawn by Professor Laventon. His original Pokedex was long assumed to be lost. So, oh my god, it's the same thing here. Well, never seen a harder takedown of character than the potential man meme. But yeah, it is so many interesting things and ideas that get explored in every other media except the actual fucking game. Survey Corps uniform. This uniform remained undamaged even when its wearer rolled over rough terrain to dodge attacks from wild Pokemon. It could withstand both heat and cold and is said to have even withstood Pokemon moves. Remarkably, the white kerchief was believed to never slip off no matter how the wearer moved. Or would be the white kerchief on the left one there, huh? Model reproduction of the general store. The general store is believed to have played a central role in providing supplies. I hit that too early. Providing supplies for the settlers. There are records of other enterprises as well, such as a clothier and a photography studio. Like, I'm sure that part of the reason why they did put this in here was just for, like, a fun nod to the last Legends game. But also as advertising for the last Legends game, I'm sure is a factor. Life around Jubilife. Within the settlement of Jubilife, fields were established to grow crops. Beyond its walls was the beach, where settlers first came ashore. As more Pokemon were surveyed and the area was developed, so too did the population grow. It said that the Pokemon they befriended also helped with various tasks, such as farming. But yeah. Separate one for the Red Hat too. Actually, did I interact with the wrong one? What do you mean separate one for the Red Hat? Oh, remarkably, the Red Cap is believed to have always stayed in place no matter how the wearer moved. I gotcha. You right then. Survey Corps Satchel. Satchel that was supplied to the members of the Galaxy Team Survey Corps. Oh, that's a satchel. Should a Survey Corps member be knocked out while conducting a survey, the Security Corps would rescue them and retrieve their satchel. Tales remain of a Galaxy Expedition team member who boasted that he could increase the capacity of satchels so they could hold more items. Don't remind me. If this was in Galar, I'd understand having stuff from other regions. True. House interior. Here's the interior of a standard house in the early settlement of Jubilife. Though sparsely furnished, it contains everything needed for fieldwork and daily life, including hardy clothing, sandals, and boots. Some houses also contain items the residents brought with them from their home regions. Hairstyles of the time. Displayed here are the hairstyles said to have been available at the hairdresser in Jubilife. Again, why would this museum have all this? The early settlement home to the Galaxy Expedition team. It's also said that changing one's hair color was possible at this establishment. Kimono. Recreation of a kimono worn by Kamado, first commander of the Galaxy Expedition team. The kimono uses many different types of thread and is ornately decorated, showing that much effort was put into its creation. Thus, it is assumed the kimono was quite costly, but it's unknown whether Kamado acquired it himself or was given to him as a gift. Pattern provides evidence that gold could be found at the time the cloth was embroidered. What? Venerated portraits. Portraits said to have been displayed by the Pearl Clan and Diamond Clan. The individuals depicted within them are said to have represent the sun, sea, and land, but nothing concrete is known about their identities. Okay. Got hair similar to Lysander there. What you've got. The commander's armor. Pseudo armor worn in battle by Kamado, even though he wouldn't exactly be fighting himself. The first commander of the Galaxy Expedition team. Said to have come from the Galar region and bears a strong resemblance to armor worn by Wickstrom, an Elite Four member of the Kalos region's Pokemon League. Oh, so we're connecting it to that there. When contacted for comment, Wickstrom said it was possible this armor was one of several suits his ancestors gave to Galarians. You mean to Hisuians? However, it is difficult to verify such claims, given the relation between Kalos and Galar during the era. Yeah, wouldn't it be the other way around there? Whatever. Almighty Sinnoh, a statue depicting the temporal Pokemon Dialga, worshipped by a group called the Diamond Clan. They referred to it as Almighty Sinnoh, the creator of the entire world. Almighty Sinnoh, statue depicting the spatial Pokemon Palkia, worshipped by a group known as the Pearl Clan. They referred to it as Almighty Sinnoh, the creator of the entire world. Almighty Sinnoh aeroglyphs. These aeroglyphs were used in ancient Sinnoh and are said to depict both common Pokemon and those that were objects of worship. Each glyph had multiple meanings, and they could be combined to create whole sentences. I recognize most of the Pokemon here. I don't know what some of them are. Some of the new ones with like Sword and Shield DLC, like this looks like that one bird on the freaking aisle there at the beginning. You see Mesprit, Azelf, Cresselia, Darkrai, Heatran. The heck is that? Yeah, Arceus, Arceus, whatever, Dialga, Palkia. The heck is that one? Oh, we've got basic Pokemon from it. Of, the Wordeer, the Cleavor, the Bear, the frickin' thing. Braviary, I guess. Basculegion. Then this would be Arcanine. Oh, that'd be the Sneasel. Then that's... frickin', I don't know. No idea. Regigigas, Giratina, Fiona, or Manaphy, or whatever the heck you got in the game there. A special Pokemon from PLA. Ah, my favorite Pokemon, Bear. Yes. I was told that the person who wore this outfit donated to the collection personally. Apparently, he gazed a while at those sketches by Professor Laventon with this nostalgic air, too. Formal attire. This outfit is said to have been worn by the ancient Sinnoh people during their rituals. Well, this group worshipped the Pokemon Arceus as an almighty deity. It's thought that they showed their respect by mimicking Arceus' appearance, even reflected by the way that they styled their hair. There, I'll read in, like, the official pronunciation. The Ancient Quarry. As the name would suggest, this cave was used in ancient times as a stone quarry. The clean cuts on the rock surfaces are signs of advanced techniques, or possibly skilled command of Pokemon. Either way, the results are impressive, even in this modern age. Temple of Sinnoh. An artist's rendition of what the ruins known as the Spear Pillar would look like if restored. It is said that these ruins once housed 10 statues depicting Pokemon known as lords or ladies. However, the temple was severely damaged due to a battle between legendary Pokemon, with the statues also being destroyed. Records show that the name Spear Pillar was coined by the Survey Corps at the time. But yeah, so Volo is immortal in a method I can describe as somehow. Volo is still alive, confirmed? I doubt it. I assume that it's supposed to be Volo Ancestor or something. Galaxy Expedition Team flag. One story claims that this flag was meant to show that the Galaxy team was made up of people from different regions, and so its design incorporates various elements, including Galarian letters. However, the truth of this tale remains unknown. The flag itself seems to have been made using threads from Pokemon. Man, I need to actually make story progress tonight. I was saying that Ghost of Yote is like this, and now Legends ZA is like this, where I'm doing a whole bunch of side stuff. But side stuff that I count as, like, things I wanted to showcase during my playthrough here. Sui the Grand Expedition. The land once known as Hisui will reveal how humans and Pokemon came to live in harmony. With the help of various museums and collectors, we bring you all the relics and some replicas that we can from this fascinating place in time. Why this wouldn't be in the Sinnoh region? Fuck you, that's why. We hope you'll come away from this exhibit with a sense of daily life and customs of Hisui. Well, that was something there. I remember that Lucario statue from the Tower of Mastery. So do I think. Tower of Mastery stands to the north of Shadowlore City. 2 strange stones were once discovered in this area, which are now thought to have been the first Mega Stone and Keystone. But yeah. I mean, do you really think Volo fucked? I presume so, considering Cynthia that he seems to be an ancestor of. If we follow this game logic, Volo is probably somewhere being a librarian, asking a random kid to help his Giratina. Take care of their Nurks, the giant Mega Lucario statue that stands within the Tower of Mastery. In order to directly view its face, one must climb to the 2nd floor of the tower. Within the base of the statue is a room that only successors or related personnel can enter. It's a replica of the Mega Lucario statue in the Tower of Mastery. You could just go to the Tower of Mastery, but only Lumiose City was in the budget, so you can't. The original statue was created to commemorate the fact that Lucario was the first Pokemon to ever Mega Evolve in the Kalos region. I thought that exclamation mark was part of the artwork for a second. A shining stone that emitted great warmth was discovered. This is the only way that I can take in, like, the full painting from here. Tower of Mastery was then built to house and protect the stone. To this day, the successor to Mega Evolution carries on the legend of the mysterious stone. It is said that one only gains their Mega Ring after defeating the successor to Mega Evolution in a Pokemon battle atop the Tower of Mastery. Well, clearly not the case here. Only the chosen may climb the Tower of Mastery. It also requires skill with the roller skates to reach the top floor. One must have complete mastery of their own body to become a Mega Evolution user. Well, that's not the case here. This was long believed to have been a portrait of a king from 3,000 years ago, painted by an artist who lived after his time. However, recent research has lent support to the theory that this painting in fact depicts a descendant of the king's younger brother. From this, we can surmise that the royal line maintained a degree of power through the ages. Okay. Painting of the mythical Pokemon Diancie. The artist boldly eschews painting a background altogether, keeping the focus solely on Diancie. Thus, we can feel the artist's desire to emphasize that the subject transcends eras and trends. Yeah, if I'm running, it does the sound effects so late. Pokemon sharing a moment together, centered around Gothitelle. Many artists have displayed curiosity about how Pokemon will relate to each other in the absence of humans. Depiction of the fruit Pokemon Sarina and the Scarecrow Pokemon Cacturne. Are you really the fruit Pokemon? Is that the terminology? Some have chosen to explore the figures of Pokemon, so different than humans, in order to better understand their anatomy and to explore the nature of their hearts and minds. And more, probably. It's forever in art. But yeah. More of, do you think Volo would fuck his own Voloition? What? Didn't redo the Tower of Mastery because the chibi player is still there? Maybe that is still art from that, then. Something or other. Some women are really into mentally deranged men. Mentally deranged, if you will. So I can see Volo having fucked. Very serious conversation we have here, I see. But yeah, I don't see anything that would say he wouldn't, aside from this being a children's game. He certainly wouldn't be a present father. Certainly wouldn't be. Yeah, no, as a father, he'd be abysmal dog shit. But yeah, I mean, at the dark and narrow cave, the source of its eerie light is a plant called luminous moss. This work is part of a series depicting scenarios that inspired overseas artists while they were traveling in Kalos. Captures the lives of Pokemon and farmers who live together with the land. That kind of looks like a Mew. It was painted about 85 years ago and is regarded as an example of naturalism. Farmers and Pokemon? What Pokemon is that? Well, the map of the Lumiose Museum. The grand exhibition of history is on the second floor. So you're telling me that the Lumiose City Museum has almost half of it dedicated to a complete other region on the other side of the planet. Like, history from one specific time period. Amazing. What a world we live in. Well, there's a thing. I assume we have to, like, jump from the building or something or other. Okay, I gotta be making main story progress tonight. I've been here for 3 hours dicking around doing, like, nothing. Here, go after Halucha there. Just travel here. I don't know, man. Yes, travel here.